Hi, this is Maria Sevilla with Sevilla Body Works. Today we're going to work with the foam roller. This is the second video in my foam roller series. And this video we're going to focus on our hamstrings and glutes as well as our feet. At the end we're going to do a little spinal articulation to bring it all together. It's going to be around about 8 minutes or so. So let's get started. Lying on our backs with our feet on the roller here. And with your feet on the roller, I want you to push your toes over the front edge and pull your heels over the back edge. So it's like my feet are little suction cups on top of the roller. So you can see I'm pulling up through my arch and I'm pushing down through my toes and my heels. I'm going to start here and I'm going to just gently dip my toes in imaginary water on the other side and then the heels back. So going back and forth like this, and I'm keeping my arch in contact on the roller. The nice thing about this, it's a lovely stretch through the tops of your feet, and it helps to warm up the feet for our next series of exercises here. So I'm going to do a few more of these. This might be difficult for some of you, and if you need some help with your feet, just articulating your feet a little bit more, you can look at my foot video, which I go through detailed exercises of how to articulate your feet and different fascial release exercises as well. So you can try that out if you want. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple more of these, and then after I'm done, I'm going to lengthen my legs. I'm going to dip my toes in the water, and then I'm going to keep rolling the roller out. So you can see my toes are still, my foot is still pointed, my toes are still reaching, and then I'm going to press out with my legs straight, and then I'm going to slowly flex my feet, pointing my toes up to the ceiling and back. So that feels good after all that. Then I'm going to keep my feet in this position, push down the backs of my legs, bring the roller in, and then once my heels come to the other side, then I flip my toes back down. So we're going to do that a few more times. Dip the toes in the water, press out, flip up, and then we'll push down, pull in, and then flip back down. So we're going to do that a few times. You might need to adjust your feet a little bit. The hardest thing about this is when I teach this in my classes, people lose the roller. And so one of the key things I try to get people to focus on is pushing down through your legs. Not just your lower legs, but also your hips. So you're pushing down to keep that contact and then coming out and then bringing it back in. So you can see it kind of slips. You might have to adjust, that's okay. Pressing out and then coming down and then pulling back in. I'm going to do one more here. We have all these little joints and bones in the feet, so this is a wonderful exercise to warm up our feet. Another reason why we are always barefoot in Pilates. And then we're going to bring it in. So once we bring it in, we're here. I'm going to want to make sure I have a healthy distance between my heels and my glutes, and I'm going to start with my bridges. So the bridges in Pilates are just lifting up to about a fist distance from the mat here. So I'm going to check and put my fist right underneath my sacrum, making sure I'm high enough, and then I'm going to come back down. So I have that first position of my feet where I'm dipping my toes over on my suction cup. I'm trying to keep my arch lifted. I'm trying to maintain as much contact into the roller as possible. So this really works the backs of your legs, and you might also feel your calves quite a bit through this, and that's okay. So lifting and lowering, and I want to do about 10 of these. So I think I'm about at 5. So I'm going to do 5 more, 5 and 4. So I'm just coming up a fist distance, 3, 2, last one, and 1. And I'm going to gently come down and I'm going to rest. Okay, so you should be feeling this quite a bit in the backs of the legs. Now we're going to add some work to this. So another challenge here. We're going to come up, and then from here I want you to do that first move with the feet. Dip your toes in the water and then pull your heels back. And then dip your toes in the water and pull your heels back. You know, anywhere from 5 to 10. If you start to cramp, please just
come down, rest, relax, get back up into it when you can, and then continue. Okay, so I'm gonna do, I don't know, about 4 more. 4 and 3, 2, last 1, and 1. Whew, come down and rest. So that can kind of be quite a bit of work. The next move that we're gonna do, so rest a little bit in between if you need to. The next move that we're gonna do is we're gonna lift up and we're gonna march. So lifting up, marching would be single leg. So we're gonna bring one leg to tabletop and then come back down and the other leg to tabletop. I'm trying to keep, which is hard, I don't know if you can see my feet so much. I'm trying not to dip my heel back. I'm trying to keep my feet on top of the roller. That's the challenge there. So lifting up, coming up, and I might be better on one leg than the other leg up, and going back and forth. Do anywhere from 4 to 5 each side. And again, if you start to cramp, just come down. Focus on your feet and distributing the weight evenly through your joint lines. So your feet, your knee, your hips, holding your belly into your spine, all that good Pilates stuff. Breathing and then coming down and then resting. Okay, adjust the roller if it slipped away from you. Get your feet back into that position. So the next move, I'm going to give you a couple options here. So the next move is that we can come up and we can continue that and then dip the toe in and then pull back with the one leg. Or if you feel like, okay, that's kind of a lot for me, I'm not ready for that level yet, then I want you to come up to your bridge, come down, lengthen the legs out, flip the toes up, release. That'll feel good. Coming back, bringing them here, back down, and then lifting up. So you'll add that sequence of the length through the legs and moving through the feet in between lifting and lowering into your bridge. If you feel like you want the extra challenge of the single leg, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come up, you're gonna bring that one leg up, you're gonna dip the toe in, and you're gonna come back. And you're gonna do that 4 or 5 times on each side. Again, if there's any cramping, come down, lengthen out that leg, and then bring it back. So one of the reasons why you might get the cramping is that you're not working the muscle, the whole muscle, and also distributing the weight evenly. So you're putting a lot of work into one area. So one of the things you can do is make sure you're pushing down through your feet. Try to soften through the knee a little bit more so you're not pulling so hard through the back of the knee, and work more at the glutes. So right here, really squeezing and holding, still maintaining that fist distance. And so that may help you, as well as other things throughout your body, drinking enough water and making sure that you're stretched and warmed up well enough, or other things that might lead to cramping if you're not prepared. Okay, so lengthening out one more time, opening up after everyone's done, and then coming back in. All right, so a couple more things that we're gonna do before we roll up. I'm gonna have you just do some spinal articulation here. You're going to tuck your tailbone. So tuck your tailbone, we did this lifting up, just the hips coming up first in our fist distance. Now we're gonna do a full pelvic curl. So you're gonna tuck your tailbone. That means that your low back is gonna come down, your pubis bone is going to point up to the ceiling. Our feet are still on the roller in the same position, and we're gonna curl ourselves up to our shoulder blades. So right up at our shoulder blades, I'm gonna stop here, taking an inhale in through the nose, and then exhale, and I'm gonna bring it down, again, one vertebra at a time, and then dropping your tailbone. So you're really trying to move bone by bone. This is not always the easiest thing to do. It takes some practice. We have some stiff spines, so being able to really feel that rolling and that individual segmenting up, and take some practice. The more you do it, the better you get at it. I'm gonna do 2 more of these. Coming up, and I'm trying to keep the roller still, and then down, and then last one, coming up, and then moving down. Oh, that feels good. All right, I'm gonna roll that roller out, and I'm gonna bring my arms overhead. I'm gonna reach and lengthen my body. I'm gonna take a deep inhale, And then I'm gonna exhale and I'm gonna start to roll my head up, reaching, and then pulling the roller in. So that was my first roll up of the day. The first roll up is always a little sticky. And then I'm gonna take my legs away, coming down, flexing my feet, reaching, lengthening my body. So I'm working at bringing the roller to me as I curl up, and then I'm working at bringing it away as I go down. Taking that inhale, exhale, rolling up. It's getting a little easier, coming in, and then taking it down and articulating and rolling down. So we're gonna do 2 more of these, taking a deep breath. If you feel like it's hard to keep the roller underneath you, keep thinking of pressing down through the backs of the legs and then coming back out and inhaling and then exhaling and then coming up. And then that's it for our second series in our foam roller videos, and I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you soon.